Hi everyone, I'm back with another topic, Pythagorean triples. The topic is not new to you, but in this video, we will be looking at the interesting history and the different formulas given over the time by different mathematicians for generating them. So let's start by first defining them. A set of integers x, y, z which satisfy the equation x square plus y square is equal to z square is called a Pythagorean triple. And a right angle triangle whose sides satisfy the above equation is called a Pythagorean triangle. When these triples have no common factor, or in other words, when the GCD of XYZ is equal to 1, we call them the primitive Pythagorean triples. For example, 3, 4, 5. These values satisfy the above equation x square plus y square is equal to z square. You can see there is no common factor between 3, 4 and 5, so this forms a primitive Pythagorean triple. Another example, 5, 12, 13. Here also the GCD of 5, 12 and 13 is 1. Hence, this is also a primitive Pythagorean triple. Now, if you multiply the primitive Pythagorean triple by a common factor, or in other words, you scale it, that will also be a Pythagorean triple, but it will not be a primitive Pythagorean triple. What if we multiply 5, 12, 13 by 2? We will have 10, 24, 26. Here also you see that 10 square plus 24 square is equal to 26 square. Such a triple will be called a Pythagorean triple, not a primitive Pythagorean triple. Let's now look at their journey. The history dates back to Babylonians. A stone tablet named Plimpton 322, dated 1900 to 1600 BC, now at the Columbia University, New York, lists the Pythagorean triples. This shows they knew them 1000 years before Pythagoras, whose period is said to be 580 to 500 BC. In India, Bodhyan Sulabh Sutra, dated 800 BC, mentions the triples 345, 512, 13, 8, 15, 17. Later on, triples are also seen in Apastham, Katyayana, and Manav Sulabh Sutras. In 300 BC, Euclid has also given a formula for finding the triples. We'll see that later. Let's come to India. In India, the triples were used for construction of Vedis for the rituals. Use of numerical value of triples is seen. The sutras do not give any formula for finding them. A cord called Raju was used for construction of Vedis, which was stretched on pegs. The cord had knots at 3, 4 and 5 units. Units could have been a hast or a pad or a different size of Vedi. These were then scaled. If they wanted bigger, they would multiply the triple by some number. Triples gave a perfect right angled triangle. We can see the use of geometry for finding them. The Pythagorean triples were used for construction of Vedis. In astronomy, where the calculations used right angled triangles for shadow calculations. Babylonians also used triples for calculations. They used sexagesimal system and took a number and its reciprocal to find the triples. If n is the number, then one of the legs x would be half n minus 1 by n, and the other leg y would be half n plus 1 by n. These values were then multiplied to get whole numbers. They then gave the diagonals. In Babylonia, they were used by the scribes for construction of buildings, temples, for making the fields, etc. In Egypt too, triples were used for construction of temples, pyramids, and in land surveys and resurveys whenever boundaries and lands were wiped out by the Nile floods. Like India, in Egypt also a rope with knots was used by Harpedonaptus, the rope stretchers. But unlike India, they used an open rope. In India, a closed loop was used and it was stretched on the pegs to form a perfect right angle triangle. Let us now look at different formulas used by the mathematicians over the years. To start with Pythagoras, he took the smaller side, say x, as 2n plus 1, the second side or the leg as 2n square plus 2n, and the hypotenuse as 2n square plus 2n plus 1. You can see here, if we add 1 to y, we will get z. Another thing which you can notice is that our x value will always be odd. The formula given by Pluto was x is equal to 2n, y is equal to n square minus 1, and z is equal to n square plus 1. Here, our z can be seen as y plus 2, and you can see that the smallest leg is always even. So you just saw the smallest side from Pythagoras' formula was odd, and in Pluto's formula it was even, which meant that we had to use two different formulas if we wanted the smallest side to be even or odd. But Euclid solved that problem. Euclid's formula gives all Pythagorean triples. His formula says x is m square minus n square, y is 2m into n, and z is equal to m square plus n square, where m is greater than n, m and n are positive integers, the GCD of m and n is 1, and in m and n, one is even, then the other one will be odd. Euclid's formula generates infinitely many triples using generators m and n. Let's look at two examples. If you take m is equal to 2 and n is equal to 1, all the conditions given in the formula are satisfied, and when we substitute these values, we get x is equal to 3, y is equal to 4, and z is equal to 5. We get primitive Pythagorean triple 3, 4, 5. If you take m is equal to 4 and n is equal to 1, you can again see all the above conditions are satisfied, and when they are substituted, we get x is equal to 15, y is equal to 8, and z is equal to 17. One thing which you must have noticed, from the same formula, in the first example, we got the smallest side as 3, which was odd, and in the second example, we got the smallest side as 8, which is even. Marcus Junius Nipsius also gave a formula. He took x to be n, y to be half of n square minus 1, and z to be half n square plus 1. Here again you can see z is nothing but y plus 1, with the condition that n is an odd integer and n is greater than 1. With this formula, all the triples where the smallest side is odd can be generated. You can see the different triples 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, etc. all have the smallest side as an odd integer. You must have also noticed that z is nothing but y plus 1. If n is a positive integer greater than 2, then if x is 4n, y is equal to 4n square minus 1, and z is equal to 4n square plus 1, we get all the triples where the smallest side is even. 8, 15, 17, 12, 35, 37, 16, 63, 65, etc. You must have noticed here z is nothing but y plus 2. A lot of formulas were given over the time by different mathematicians. We're just skipping that. Let's come to another formula by Kronecker. He gave x is equal to 2pqt, y is equal to t p square minus q square, and z is equal to t p square plus q square, where p is greater than q is greater than 0 and t is greater than 0. P, q and t need not be integers. Let's take some examples. If you take t to be half, p to be 3, and q to be 1, when we substitute in his formula, we get the primitive Pythagorean triple 3, 4, 5. If you take q and t to be 1 and p to be 4, we get the triple 8, 15, and 17. Let's look at what is triple addition. If we have two triples, let's denote the first one by a and the other one by b. A is the triple xyz, b is pqr. If we add the two triples, we would get a new triple using the formula xp minus yq, py plus xq, zr. For example, if you take a to be the triple 7, 24, 25 and b to be the triple 9, 40, 41, if we rearrange them, keeping the smaller sides in the center, 24, 7, 25, 40, 9 and 41. Applying the formula, we get x is equal to 897, y is equal to 496, and z as 1025. You can see the equation is satisfied. One interesting fact, Fibonacci numbers can be used for generating the Pythagorean triples. If we take four consecutive Fibonacci numbers, fn plus 1, fn plus 2, fn plus 3 and fn plus 4, then x can be found by 2 times f of n plus 2 into f of n plus 3. Y will be f n plus 1 into f of n plus 4, and z will be nothing but f of n plus 2 square plus f of n plus 3 whole square. For example, if we take the Fibonacci series and from that we take 4 consecutive numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, x will be nothing but 2 into multiply the middle two, which gives us 12. Y will be nothing but the product of the two outside numbers, 1 into 5, and Z will be nothing but the sum of the squares of the two middle numbers, 2 square plus 3 square, which is 13. This gives us the primitive Pythagorean triple 5, 12, 13. There is so much to be said about the Pythagorean triples. So in our next video, you will see some very interesting facts and results about them. Until then, thank you for watching.